Do you believe that the universe sends signs to you? I do, and I want to share an example of how that happened to me recently. So, one morning about a month ago, I was in a low mood and I did my usual self care practices, my morning practices. I did my meditation, and usually I would feel better after the meditation, but I still felt very low. And then the next thing I do in my morning routine is yoga, and I had 0% willingness or desire to do it, but I pushed myself to do it because I thought it will make me at least neutral, if not happy, from a state of low mood. So I forced myself to do yoga, and while doing my yoga, I was listening to spiritual music. So spiritual music also uplifts me. So I was doing all the things that I know would make me feel better, but nothing seemed to be helping. And so while doing my yoga and listening to that spiritual music, I just remembered something I had read in a spiritual book, which was to ask, or which is another way of saying praying. So I asked for a sign to tell me that I'm on the right path. So, to give you a bit of background, what had happened is that not only on that morning, but maybe the week before, leading up to that morning, I had been feeling low. I had physical pain because of my endometriosis, and also emotionally, I wasn't in a good place. I was in what Joe Dispenza calls the river of change. So, when you're trying to make a change in yourself, which I was, that river of change is very messy. It's not a fun place to be in. It's very chaotic. And even though you're trying to change something from negative to positive, so in my case, I was trying to change myself and change my programming, where I had learned about myself that I was living in a lot of fear and anxiety, especially when it comes to parenting, and I wanted to change my overthinking and perfectionism with parenting and other stuff, and I was actively trying to change it through meditation and journaling and self therapy. So because of that, I was just going through a lot of emotional ups and downs in that week leading up to that morning, and physical pain, like I mentioned before. So in that moment, I'm doing yoga and I'm thinking nothing is helping me. I'm just in this low state. So I asked the universe, and you can call it whatever, right? You can call it the source, you can call it God, you can call it a higher intelligence, a higher energy. It doesn't matter what name we give it to, and that will be different for all of us. It's whatever it resonates. So for me, I like to say universe. So I asked the universe to show me a sign, even the smallest sign, that I am on the right path. And all these things that I'm doing, even though today it feels like the meditation is not helping, the yoga is not helping, but please give me a sign that I should still continue to do these things, that I'm on the right path, and I should continue to believe that will work, and give me a sign to help me trust this process. So then I finished my yoga, and then I did the next thing, which was to make myself a cup of cacao. This is a new thing that I do. I have cacao in the morning sometimes. And what happened is that I opened my cabinet where I keep all my mugs, and all my favorite cups were not there because they were in the dishwasher. They were clean, so I could have opened the dishwasher, but I had no energy or patience to empty the dishwasher first. So I was like, I'll just choose from whatever mugs there are there in the cabinet, even though they weren't my favorite mugs. And there was this mug, which it's one of my least favorite mugs. We had gone on an experience called the Polar Express, which is based on the movie called Polar Express. It's a Christmas movie for kids where the kid goes on a Polar Express train to the North Pole. And the whole idea of the movie is that if you believe in Santa, or if you believe in magic, magic will happen to you. And for those that don't believe, it does not happen. So that's just a little bit background. And then on this Polar Express train ride, we had gotten hot chocolate, and it was served to us in these mugs, and then we got to take these home. But this is one of my least favorite mugs in my kitchen. The only reason I have it is because the kids like it. And so on that morning, I was already in a low mood. So I look at the cabinet and I'm like, ugh, all my none of my favorite mugs is here, so, but I have no energy to empty the dishwasher, so fine, I'll just use this mug, which is like one of my least favorite mugs, just because of the, I don't know, it's a bit heavy, and the lip is not very, I don't know. I like my other mugs where the lip is kind of slightly curved, and I don't know, the drink just, I'm just able to sip it, sip it in a more ergonomic way. Okay, I know this is being too picky, and this is such a first world problem. But anyway, this was my truth on that morning, so I'm just being very open and transparent. So yeah, I picked the mug that I was least likely to pick. And then I made my cacao in it and I sat down, and mood is still low. And normally when I'm drinking a cacao or tea or anything, I never look at the mug, okay? Because I'm usually just sitting on my couch and looking out the window or just looking into the distance, not actually looking directly at the mug. But that day, I'm sitting there and I'm drinking my cacao out of this mug, and after finishing about half of my cacao, about half is still left, my eyes just went and looked at the mug, which, like I said, I never do that. And guess what I saw? I saw this word, believe. And it took me a couple of seconds, and then I realized, oh my goodness, this is the sign that I was asking for. So I just kept on staring at it, and I'm like running my fingers across this word believe, and I started crying. I started feeling so grateful, because after all that emotional, week of feeling low, and then finally kind of just surrendering and saying that, you know what, I don't know how to make myself better. Universe, you help me. You please give me a sign. And within 10 or 15 minutes of asking for that sign, I got this sign. And this is not a coincidence. At least I don't believe this is just a coincidence, because the likelihood of this happening was so low. Like I told you, I never picked this mug. This is my least favorite mug. And if I did pick it for some reason, I never look at the mug. But on that morning, my eyes went to this word, because I think the universe just wanted me to believe that I am taken care of, that the universe has my back, and to believe that I'm on the right path and that I should trust the process. So I felt super grateful that morning, and that was the beginning of my mood beginning to feel better, because sometimes we can feel so alone in our journey and our struggles and our pain that we forget there's a bigger power, there's a higher intelligence, there's a universe that's always supporting us and always acting in our favor, even though we can't see it always. Sometimes we feel that the universe is against us and nothing is happening right. But even in those moments, the universe always has our back. And so I hope this story inspires you to trust the universe more, trust the source or a higher power, and know that you are not alone. The universe always has your back. Sending you lots of love. Take care.